Today we're bringing you a spring roll recipe, i.e. egg rolls. Some of you know them as egg rolls.
Egg roll, pancake roll, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, we just stick with whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, but egg rolls to us, you make an actual pancake, which is a different kind of pastry to a spring roll pastry, which is like flaky, almost phyllo-ish, but not the same. These are normally traditionally eaten at New Year's.
Yes, that's what you call chunjian, spring roll. We used to eat it during the Lunar New Year.
During the New Year, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, on with the recipe. First off, we're going to have to rehydrate some
Chinese mushroom.
Thank you, Ma.
Yes.
Or what do we call them?
Donggu.
Yeah, so these are like, I think you guys call them dry shiitake
Shiitake
mushrooms.
I never like to say that word just in case.
Just in case
I did not say it right.
Yeah, and you miss out the tacky on the end.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to rehydrate these with some boiling water. We're going to put a lid on them, and then every sort of 10 minutes, we're going to turn them, and we're going to let them steep for about half an hour. To
get the water into the center of the mushroom to rehydrate them.
Now, the liquor you can actually, when you pour it off, keep it aside. Just make sure you don't keep the bottom there because there can be sediment in there. That can be frozen for stock later on.
Or what I would do, I use that water, the mushroom water, to cook some packet noodle with it. And
with the flavouring, it'll be an extra umami boost as well.
Yes, umami, is it?
Yeah, that's what MSG does.
Okay. Oh, mushroom.
You really like mushrooms, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I like all type of mushroom, especially the dry mushroom. There are quite a few kinds of it, you know.
I hate them. It's the texture. It makes me angry. I actually like the flavour. Anyway, okay, so first of all, we're going to need to cook off our bean sprouts. And there's a reason we do this. We're just going to add some veg oil to the pan here. Use quite a bit. And it's because the bean sprouts wilt so much. So when you cook them, if they're going to burst, it's because your bean sprouts have too much liquid in. So we cook them out a little bit to get some of that liquid out and also to flavour them.
Yeah. So
into this, we're going to put aged garlic puree. If you want to know how to make that, just comment below and I'll tag the video for you. You want your wok on high, but you don't want to burn that garlic.
No, do not want to burn it.
When it starts looking brown,
you can smell it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it starts going brown, we're going to add in our bean sprouts. And you want to move these around to get that garlic off the bottom of the pan so it doesn't burn. Then obviously we're going to have
salt.
Yeah, quite a bit because it's going to drain off.
And MSG.
Yeah, again, quite a bit because it will drain off. Shout out to the MSG Massive. And some black pepper. Again, quite a bit.
Yes.
This doesn't take long, does it, Ma?
No, it doesn't. I think it should be, really ready to...
Ready?
Yeah, ready.
Nearly ready.
I don't know why my English has gone down the pan. Got the pepper.
Yeah.
Right, I think it's good enough.
So when it starts to wilt, that's when it's ready.
Yeah.
And then we're just going to place it into a colander to drain. You want this to drain for a fairly long time, until they're cold, essentially.
Yes.
Because what happens if you try and roll these when it's hot, Ma?
Well, you just melt your pastry skin.
Yeah, so you'll be left with goo and some vegetables.
You wouldn't be able to roll it.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not fun for anyone.
No, just let it cool down.
Yeah.
Cool down or cold down?
It has to be cold, so room temperature.
Yes.
And then while you're doing this, you can prep everything else.
Yes.
Quick pro tip, if you put a hole in the middle, that allows more heat to...
evaporate out.
Yeah.
Escape.
Thank you, Ma. Escape.
Yes.
It allows... Words are difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
So it allows the heat to escape and the moisture to fall to the bottom.
Yes, that's what you want.
Yeah. So we've got a... What is this, Ma?
Cabbage.
It's a cabbage. You can use any cabbage. I prefer Savoy cabbage, but this is a sweetheart cabbage.
Yeah, you can use any cabbage. Kale.
Normal cabbage, yeah.
Like.
Kale's a little bit bitter when it's been deep fried, but I mean, again, fine. If that's what you like, that's what you like. So I'm just going to take the some of the leaves off. Probably only going to need one because that's quite a lot of green there. And I'm going to take the centre out because that would be like chewing on blocks of Lego.
Will it?
No, no, I was being hyperbolic.
You can put it in if you want to, but because it has got more water content.
Well, it's also really fibrous.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's going to be chewy to eat. So we don't add it. You can if you want. So I'm just going to roll this up, simply to make it easier to cut.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to come across it. And that is your cabbage done into a bowl. You may actually find that these strips are a bit long. If they are, you just take them out and then you just pass over them a couple of times. That's done, because you will find if they are long, I'm trying to find a long bit now, that bit will be quite difficult to roll. It might poke out the sides. So you just cut them shorter.
So we're going to cut the carrot now?
Yeah, we are. Cut a flat spot.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to cut crossways so they're smaller. The finer the better. I mean, it's personal preference at the end of the day. You can do what you want. And then this just goes in with your cabbage. So we've just got some tinned sweet corn here. So the recipe for this is actually in our first cookbook, available at jangs.com or chinandchew.com. If you want to know, if you want the link to it, just comment below and I'll put the link there. And then
we thought we'd add some sweet corn.
yeah, in the book version there is no sweet corn. That's just because most takeaways aren't going to be adding the sweet corn, but Mum and I bloody love sweet corn.
Yeah,
like,
we prefer sweet corn in it. Give it lift the veg up.
Texture, and there's like the sweetness that runs through it.
Yes.
It's just fantastic.
Yes.
So we got our mushrooms here.
Yep, rehydrated mushroom.
Yeah, we always take the stem off. And that's mainly because sometimes it doesn't hydrate all the way through. But again, don't throw these away. You can freeze them and put them into stocks. So now I'm just going to finally chop these up. Some people like to cut them this way round.
However, whatever you feel comfortable with cutting them then.
Yeah, sometimes I cut, it depends how they've folded.
Yeah.
So this one sits nicer on the back, this one sits nicer on its back, that one sits nicer on the front. So I'll cut that on the front. Either way, just whatever you're used to anyway. So we're just going to cut these into slices. And
then turn it round to cut into pieces.
Fine pieces, yeah.
Yeah.
You can be rough or as fine as you want them to be. And you want to cut these when these are cool, by the way. I forgot to mention that earlier. Because if you try and hold them after they've just come out of water, they're going to be full of hot water.
Yeah, it restores its heat very well.
Yeah, and then also you want to make sure that they're drained.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Or you can give it a bit of squeeze on it.
Yeah, you can.
To get rid of the water.
You also don't want to be adding hot ingredients to veg because that will just cause them to wilt. So into this we're going to add a pinch of aged garlic puree, not too much because too much and it will be way overpowering.
Some black pepper.
Yeah, and that goes.
Salt. MSG.
Right, now we're just going to mix this together. It smells really good.
Yes.
Now we're going to wait for the bean sprouts to cool down and then we're going to add them to this. See, the bean sprouts have now been sitting and they're nice and cool to the touch. And all that liquid there, you can again keep to the side for stocks or whatever you want to use it for. But that is how much came out of that, and that is why your pastry would go stodgy.
You do not want it.
No, not at all. In fact, there's nothing more irritating than when you put a roll in to fry it and it pops.
Yeah, and both sides get all brown.
Yeah, and then you've got to change your oil.
Yes.
Anyway, by the by, in this goes. Now, in the cookbook, we say to add some sugar, but if you're using the sweet corn, that's sugar enough, but you can obviously add a little bit more sweetness if you want. We just say, I don't think you need it with the sweet corn, that is.
Just give it a mix.
That's nice and mixed, and we can get on with building the pancake rolls now. So, spring rolls, sorry. So first off, we're gonna have to make, what we're doing, Ma?
Make some paste for sticking the spring roll.
The pastry.
Or if you like, you can use egg white, but I say why you use egg white, it wastes an egg. You only use the egg white, but you can use the egg white all together, but it get brown. So we're using some flour today. You need a couple of spoons, and then you need some normal water and put it in and make it into a gluey paste.
Yeah, this is, we're essentially making a glue paste.
Yeah.
A flour paste. A flour glue.
You don't want it too thick. When too thick, it's difficult to dip. You will know what I mean as we get on with wrapping the spring roll. The consistent is about right.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the lumpy bit, it will just disappear.
Now, takeaways are going to be using, most takeaways are going to be using this pastry. There are a few different brands nowadays, but this is what we've always traditionally used. Every Chinese takeaway owner in the country is going to know exactly what these are.
I think they are the better one.
They are the better ones,
Yeah.
in our opinion. We haven't been paid for this whatsoever. It's just what we prefer. Oh, they haven't given us this either. So I just thought I'd clear that up because I know some smart aleck in the comments are going to go, I bet you're paid. So no, we weren't.
No, we don't. This,
Calm down.
we buy it from our pocket, okay?
We buy it from our pockets. So we normally use the 6-inch pastries, but we couldn't get hold of any, so we're using 8-inch today. It just means they're going to be slightly, we're going to have to trim them up essentially to the right size.
Do we need to?
Or they're going to be thick batter. I thought we were going to trim them, obviously not.
No, we will show you this one then, yeah? See, you can literally go and get the 6x6 or 8x8. It's all entirely up to you, but today we'll just go 8x8 today.
Yeah. The reason why I've cut this like this as well is because then you can reseal it and then put it back into the fridge for use later. You've got to make sure that you put it into another bag to make sure no air gets into it. And
Air is good, but in this case, we do not want the air. The air dry out the phyllo skin.
yeah, it's not phyllo, but yeah.
Yeah, the pastry
The
skin.
pastry skin.
Okay, so get this in. Get the pastry out. You probably maybe about 20, or depends on how big size you wrap them in. Well, you get a few out and just leave those to one side. When you get your this spring roll skin out, you could see there's two sides. This is slightly lighter color.
Mum says lighter. I see it as bubbly. One side's bubbly and one side's flat.
Yeah, this side is a lighter color. When you put together, you can probably see it, but I could see it. You can see this is darker, this is lighter.
For me, like when you do that, they're exactly the same color, but this side's flatter.
Yeah.
Like it has less texture than this side, which has more bumps in.
Yeah, okay then.
That's how I see it.
Yeah.
You might see it differently.
But I like to peel them off from that part, so it's easy for you to roll. They can be very stubborn, honestly. If you like give them a knot sometime.
But you can be quite aggressive with them. They can, like, don't be worried that you're gonna rip them. They are quite, what's the word? Malleable, not malleable.
Stretchable.
Stretchable?
Yeah. Flexible.
That's again not the right word. Resilient.
Yes. So many words for that, isn't it?
There are. Brevity, the soul of wit. William Shakespeare.
You see this one stick together, you just need to pull them apart and get them all down. Put them to one side. Place your skin down like this, not like that, okay? Right angle side.
So like a diamond. So when you look at it, it's like a diamond shape and not a square.
But you get your paste in first rather than at the end, because once you're rolling, you don't want to stop. When you stop, you'll
Lose the flow.
lose the tightness of the pancake skin. But I like to roll it from the end here. Rolling this end, it gives you more space and more time for you to roll it tight. If you roll it loose, it might fall off sometime.
They will look loose. So they'll look almost like they've got crinkly.
Yeah.
They won't be round.
Okay, you get a pinch in between like this, and some. We're just going to do about the small one, like this size, yeah?
Yep.
As you roll, you pull this one in the end here.
Mum went into automatic mode then, didn't you?
Yeah. And then you just keep rolling. As you roll, you pull it tight and fold it in. Yeah, perfect.
One more time for the people at home. So you pull it tight, in from the side.
You make sure your edges is a straight line. If you do this, do that, you end up having like this end showing. And when you fry them, because of the sometimes water, it just pop and become really dark, and then your oil going to burn and spit as well.
Right, so a lot of people put it in the center, and then they do that, and then they pull it in. That's actually how I do it. I think it's easier that way. But Mum says you can't get them as tight. I think I get mine tighter. The only issue is, like Mum just then, it's actually difficult to get the end as clean. But because I'm so used to doing it this way, I can achieve that with that version. So if you're going to put these into a tray and into the fridge for any amount of time, you're going to want to dust it with some plain flour and then put the rolls on top of it, and then you can put them in the fridge. You don't need to put any sort of covering over them if they're only going to be in there for a couple of hours. But if you're going to be overnight, you're going to want to put some cling film over the top. Okay, so now these are done, we're just going to deep fry them in veg oil at around 180 degrees C, so that's, I think, 356 degrees Fahrenheit, until they're golden brown and piping hot in the middle. And now we're going to make a sauce to go with this as well. Okay, so now we're making sort of a
dipping sauce.
Yeah, sweet chili kind of thing.
Yeah, homemade dipping sauce.
So veg oil.
Power's on. The heat is on.
The heat is on. I watched the new Beverly Hills Cop the other day.
Was it good?
I loved it.
Who is it?
Everyone's hating it, but I loved it. It's the same characters.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay then. I'll give it a go and watch it then.
So we're going to whack in some freshly chopped ginger, as fine as you want it. I want it quite fine for this though. And then some shallots.
Not to forget salt. MSG.
We're just going to brown this off. When this is browned off, we're going to add some of our aged garlic. Lots of. Then we're going to add some water. To this, a bit of ketchup.
Brown sugar.
Yeah.
Chili flake.
As much or as little as you like. Some Korean chili flakes, and this is literally just for colour. If you're not going to use red food colouring, which we are going to be, just a touch of the red food colouring.
Vinegar.
Yeah, white vinegar. I like it quite sour.
If you like it sweeter, you just add a bit more sugar.
Yeah.
Give and take, see how you like it, okay?
We're just going to bring this to the boil and then reduce it down to like a syrup. And then as this cools, it will start to thicken up as well, because the sugar is only so liquid because it's so hot. We want to keep it moving so it doesn't burn as well. So you just don't want to let it sit for too long. Maybe 5 or 6 seconds at a time, then move it. And that's ready.
Very good.
Okay, we've already started because obviously Mum is eating them.
I'm not meant to eat
Mum
it.
couldn't handle not trying them.
Really good.
So like, I will throw this up to the camera so you can see them first. See, will it focus? There you go. And obviously the sweet chili sauce is there as well. I say every time, the sweet corn makes these.
Yeah, the sweet corn lift the flavour.
See how that sauce thickened up by itself?
Yeah.
That's pure sugar.
Number one.
That sauce is so good. So easy. Literally took me 2 minutes.
No. It's finished about 10 minutes. Chop and everything cooked. To eat, take you less than 2 minutes. Sorry.
Cooking these from frozen, if you're going to freeze them, again, you're going to want to freeze them on a powdered, floured tray. if you're going to cook them, you want to cook them from frozen. You don't want to let them defrost because they will sweat and then the pastry on the outside will start bursting and you'll be left with a fryer full of mush.
Not good.
No, not good at all.
It's not a good picture.
I'm tempted to make egg rolls, which are essentially like this, but you make a pancake. If you'd like to see that video, you need to comment. Also, this exact recipe will be up on our Recipe Vault for Recipe Vault members. Link to sign up to the Recipe Vault is below, and they get like perks for supporting the channel. It's just 75p a week, and you get the videos earlier than everyone else, the written recipe and the ingredients list as well. But if you can't afford to do that, or you just don't want to, which is absolutely fine, if you can hit that like button and share our videos, that helps us out so much. It's unbelievable. So if you could do that, that'd be fantastic.
Thank you. Be kind. Happy cooking, happy eating.
Take care, guys. Is there anything else you want to say though about this?
I really enjoy it. I can't wait for me to finish talking and get into it.
Okay, I'll let Mum get on with her eating then. Till next time. Bye.